Hey, welcome in everybody to Rocket City Reseller presents Launchpad. Woo, get up.
Let's
2026
go.
is here, and it's all about growing your business and leveling up. And we're going to help you along the way. I'm joined today by two of the most prevalent resellers in whatnot history, and also static and boots history. Ellie, Tennessee Treasures, thank you for taking the opportunity to co-host with us. Also, She Shed 244, you know, from Whatnot Acclaim and Ray Train Queenage. They're both there to help us along the way. Whether you've been selling for 20 minutes or 20 years, we're sure that there's something along the way that you're going to learn. We're going to be your mission control for all things reselling, and we just want to take the time to just say thank you for watching. And how's everybody's week in reselling? What's going on?
What's up?
What is up, my guy?
It's been
Ashley, our Tennessee Treasures, we'll call you that because people don't know that you're Ellie. But go ahead, Ellie. How was your week? We'll start with you.
It's been slow, but I had a couple sales on eBay. So any sales on eBay right now is good.
Oh yeah.
And I need to get back on Whatnot.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys will be proud of me. I actually scheduled 3 months worth of shows today.
Let's go. I need to do that. I'm right behind you.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid, so I gotta make sure that I stick to the plan, which is to sell lots of toys on Whatnot this year. What about you, Ashley? What you got going on?
I've been in the listing journey. I've been doing dolls, brushing hair.
Awesome.
Getting ready for something? Is there something coming that we don't know about?
Yes, the girls just want to have fun, Ray Train, and I'm like, been hoarding these dolls forever, and I had to go through. So I finished that, and now it's finding all the other stuff and items that now I have to list those. So yes.
Wait, are they hearing it here first? Is this a first for socials about the train, or has the train been promoted already?
I don't believe it's been promoted yet.
When is it? Just curious.
Oh my gosh, you had to ask.
I had to ask because
I think it should be January 22nd.
January 22nd. Make sure you guys are getting on Whatnot and following She Shed 244, along with my wife FionasFinds. They are co-hosting. I believe that one. Is that right, or is it just your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Co-hosting together. Girls Just Want to Have Fun is a great idea for a plush and toy show, or just toys, or whatever you guys are doing. Anything that can be combed for hair, dolls, things of that nature. So, Care Bears, ponies. What else we got in there? I'm sure you got a bunch of stuff.
I'll have Hatchimals.
Hatchimals. Ellie, are you on that one too?
Yeah. On that one.
Yep, Ellie's on it too.
Do you see all this?
Damn, this is the one time I wish I was a girl. Other than that, I'm good.
I got all the girls' toys.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. I know that Ellie, you sell a lot on Whatnot. Before we get into like the origin stories of how we started reselling and all the things we're going to talk about tonight, what do you think for Whatnot? You do a lot of that type of show. Would you say that's like a sub niche within a niche for toys, like the dolls and the? How far can you get into the rabbit hole for that?
We could do a whole show, a whole episode on like all of the sub niches and different things to look at in each sub niche. And I'm not an expert in each, but I know just a little bit. Hi, Krista.
Hey, Krista.
Drift and Drifters in the house.
So
powerhouse.
Just in the dolls niche, there's sub niches, right? You have the Rainbow High, you have the Monster High, you have the Barbies, and then there are some people that want the newer Barbies. Most people are looking for vintage Barbies. Then you have like Chelsea dolls. What are the other dolls? The vintage.
Kelly? Is it Kelly?
Kelly, yes, thank you. Kelly dolls.
I'm just like, sounds right. My sister had I think my sister had this stuff. I'm just like, probably tied me up and made me play with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's just dolls. Dolls have so many different, and that's just like Barbie type dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby dolls and tiny dolls.
It goes on.
It goes on and on and on. There's so many more newer things that are coming out every year too. Before we get into any more of that, why don't you tell us about how you got started reselling? We'll start with Tennessee Treasures tonight. If you want to give us a little bit of backstory so people can get to know Ellie, Tennessee_Treasures on most of the socials, I believe. So
Yes. Okay, so reselling for me started around 2019, more or less. I'll preface that with saying that I always kind of had a knack for selling stuff. Like I would sell candy in high school. I'd go in
same.
Sam's Club, buy the big old box, and then sell them for.
It's like I'm looking at the female version of myself.
Yes, yep. And so that was, that was a hustle back then, just to have a little bit extra money. And I did some time on like Etsy. I did a lot of crafting stuff, craft fairs type things where I would make the things and sell the things. I had an Etsy store. It wasn't successful. I did make a handful of sales on Etsy for crafting. But most of it was like in-person Facebook Marketplace type stuff. And Facebook Marketplace has always been also an avenue for me to sell whatever used stuff we have or find furniture. I started selling furniture around 2017, used furniture. And then we started watching Harry Tornado. So I'm part of the Harry Tornado era.
COVID-ish era, right? Somewhere in there.
Yep. Right. I got it right before
pre-COVID. Maybe?
Yep. Right. Pre-COVID. Exactly. I was watching Harry Tornado videos. I was watching Froggy flips. I was watching.
I love Froggy.
I love Froggy. He got me into toys. Then there was oh gosh, I can't remember what channel he was on, but Vinny, he was the toy guy. He was like the toy guru. He started teaching us about all the tiny toys, the little toys, all the stuff that was like valuable. Before getting into all of like, let me rewind. Before getting into toys exclusively, we started dumpster diving. And that's when my reselling career really started to take off because we just had so much. My first dumpster dive was 5 and below.
Nice.
Found a bunch of little toys back there, chargers, headphones, electronics. They threw away a whole case of flip-flops. They were out of season, so they got trashed. And we started selling at flea markets because we just had so much inventory, just like dollar, take it all $1. You want this $1? And I sold all kinds of stuff. It wasn't just toys. It was skis, skateboards, tents, big things, golf club bases. Because I was watching Harry Tornado, So
yeah, he loves a good golf club. I think he plays, if I'm not mistaken.
So. Yeah, I think he plays, and he knows a lot. I didn't learn. I wasn't really able to learn about the golf clubs, but I picked up on some of the brands, Titleist, and that kind of stuff. So I would pick up the golf club caddies. I shipped one of those one time, so I got really good at shipping. And that was just static sales on eBay. That was before Whatnot. I think I got to about 6,000 in a 90-day total on eBay.
Not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And so I was happy with it. I mean, it was a good, substantial extra income for us. We kept that on for about 2, maybe 3 years before I got banned on eBay. That's a story within itself. But I started Whatnot before I got banned off of eBay. So I had that to fall back on. Whatnot I started in 2022. And I started with our first couple of shows was women's plus size clothes. I quickly learned that people are picky with their clothes. I got a couple of negative reviews. And she said she got banned on Depop. Oh no,
Krista, that's terrible.
I don't think so. So bad. I mean, there were extenuating circumstances, but really it just came to not being organized enough. So when I started on Whatnot is, 2022. I think that's when I moved here to Tennessee. So I moved my entire store, my entire eBay store from Chicago to Tennessee. that's how I lost track of a lot of things and had to cancel a lot of sales. That's how I got banned off of eBay for canceling too many sales in a small time frame, 2 months, I think. And then I had my mom, Tiny Toys, coming to the bins with me and picking up the tiny toys. That's when the toys kind of spiraled out of control. And really, I started with plush. Like, I had much more plush, and I started seeing her pick up these tiny things and saying, "This little thing sold for $100, you know, this little Barbie piece." And I'm like, yeah, I need to be doing that too.
You need to move to that direction because
Yeah.
that's where the money is, right?
Right. So, I mean, she inspired me to start picking up the toys, and that took its own course. My first year on Whatnot, I did 28,000.
That's pretty damn good for your first year out.
And it was 6 months.
Wow.
6 months, because I started in June, so June to December, I made 28,000.
That's
At
crazy.
that time, we were living off of DoorDash, Whatnot, Instacart. We were just side hustling.
Gig work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gig work. That's all we were living on. So Whatnot, when the gig work kind of failed us, Whatnot really stepped in. Then I had Michaela. So since
Love that
then,
kid. She's awesome.
I love my baby girl, but I had a baby in between all of that, and so I kind of lost momentum. I wasn't on all the time. I was busy with the 4 kids. I was doing the homeschool mom thing, and my husband Valentine was working. You know, he was able to get a full-time job to sustain us, so I didn't really have the need to be on as much. So currently, the goal is to kind of get back up to where I was on track to go in that first year, you know, and pick up where I left off.
Yeah, well,
that's how I started.
Thank you for sharing. So much stuff to unpack there for sure. Love to hear more about that as we move along in the podcast journey. I'm sure it'll come up again because there's a lot of folks that probably are in the same boat. I mentioned on our we did a pre-launch for the podcast on Whatnot, and I mentioned that maybe a year and a half ago, we almost lost our eBay store for the same reason, not being able to fulfill orders. There was a lot of things that went wrong in our inventory control system. And also human error and making mistakes and learning along the way. So that can happen. Now, whenever I do a YouTube video or I make content, I always remind people that to be intentional about the inventory and things of that nature. So yeah, it's really super important to do that because that's the root of your business and you should treat it well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So appreciate you sharing. We're going to move on to She Shed 244. Ashley in the house.
Yeah, so my story is a little bit different. It just started with basically me and my mom. We love shopping for other people, and it's kind of like we love thrift store shopping.
Yeah.
We find cool stuff for cheap. And we got to talking, and it was ongoing joke like, yeah, let's get a booth. And then I was like, hey, let's get a booth. So, like, no lie, we talked about it, joked about it. We went to one shop we always stop by, and they're like, yeah, we got a waiting list, but hey, we got a booth opening up if y'all are interested. And we're like, game. All right, cool. So then we're like, what are types of things that everybody's buying? So it's mainly like our booth became like home decor. That's what we started with, was completely home decor, all that stuff, everything. So the first booth, the first place that we were at, we had one booth, and then we were doing so well. And where we were located, like the main entrance that comes in, we're like off the cut on this other room this way. And we always walk, but a lot of people skip over it. We were still getting the business and selling stuff and all that, but they had another one that was on the main strip that everybody walked past that opened up. So we said, yeah, we'll take that one too. So what we would do is just kind of like, and we were like legit when we first started, every month we were switching out. Like we were constantly switching our booth, constantly moving it. And then when we had both booths, we were switching it from one to the other. Well, it came to a point that their lease was coming up, and the person that owned it is like, no, we're not renewing the lease.
Oh,
so
wow.
everybody, so the last month, everybody's panicking, doing half off. our prices were already, because I mean, when we first started, if we found it for $1, we were selling it for $2, maybe $2.50. We were only doubling it. So our prices were already low enough. And we're like, we're not marking anything down. And I think that last month, which was crazy, we did a whole bunch of money in that last month. And I think we marked down 5 items. That's it.
Wow.
So in the process of that, my mom had gone, trying to remember where, but she had left me. She had left me. She went out of town, and I was like, okay, we got to find another place. So
Right.
in the process, I found another place. We ended up with a bigger booth, less money. I was able to move us into there. We were profitable there. Then our original booth reopened in a new location. So we're like, okay, we'll try it. It was closer to us. I was like, yeah, we'll try it. Yeah, they ended up, I think we went in a month or two before, like a month, we were like, hey, I think this is going to be our last month and we'll be packing up next month, because it wasn't doing good in the location. And they ended up closing it down. So when we were going to pick up our stuff, they announced they were closing. And I'm like, well, we got out when we could. So then from there was another lady that worked there, it was a group of 3 ladies that really drew us to our original place. She ended up buying one that's like 45 minutes, a furniture store. So we went there. So we have our one booth here that we slowly moved into 2 booths there. And now we're going 45 minutes away, something like that, for our new booth. That one's not doing so well, all that thing. So now we're down to, we have our one big booth, and then we have another little shelf booth and another boutique that's closer. So they're both side by side. So booth wise, that's what I have currently. In the process of this, the one location that we're at currently, they have what is called a drop site. So it's basically like Facebook Marketplace, except for they are a shop that you basically, it's like an online garage sale. You post your items, pictures, descriptions. People just put want and they purchase it. So I started doing that within the booth too. So I had the booth and I'm doing the drop site. So it was that, the original booth, and then across the booth that we have the other place that we have a shelf, there's 2 different drop sites. So we do those. So that was extra income too, because it's like, oh, I went thrifting today. Oh, well, I found this, this, and this. Let me post it. Automatic payday, because it's one, you go and drop it off. You have 2 weeks to drop it off. They have 2 weeks to pick it up. So that was another source of income. So in the process of the booth, the drop sites, don't ask me how I came across Whatnot, but I came across Whatnot.
I can't remember either, really.
Exactly. It's like, it's all a blur. I came across Whatnot and I was like, okay. And I started seeing different things on there. And I was like, okay. I was watching shows and I was like, they have where you can join. Let me try it out. I put in, because I was doing at least every week, at least $200 on these 2 drop sites. I was like, I'm doing this. Plus I have boosts. I have substantial inventory. Did your whole little thing. That same day I got a response back. Here's orientation for onboarding. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
What was the time frame for that, Ashley? Like what year?
What years? I don't even
Or was it? No, what year did you start Whatnot? Do you recall?
Whatnot, I think I'm at 2.5. That's what I can't even tell you, like when I officially started. I think I'm at 2.5 years, maybe going on 3.
The only reason I remember is because Michaela was born right after. So
See, I don't have a timeline. And mine is, I can't pinpoint it. It's like, I don't remember. And so I got like, they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, onboarding. All right. I see onboarding. I'm watching other people's shows and I'm like, okay, I like, y'all have seen my setup. I've shown y'all my setup, but when I first started, I was kind of inside, but I also did outside. Like I was on my deck with an umbrella in the summer to hide the shade with my camera, showing the stuff like home decor to be outside. And that's
natural
how
light is the best light. So
I know, I'm just saying. So that's how I would go outside, do my show, whatever, pack it up and come inside. And I started with home decor, and I was doing like in the beginning, I was doing like early afternoon, like 2:00. And I was like, okay. And once again, I think we're all in the same boat. I don't know how or when, but I switched to toys. And then it just it took off from there. And I think it goes back to like what we talk about with nostalgia, the stuff you grew up with. I was having fun finding the stuff. And it's like, okay, I get to hold it for a little while and say I had it and then pass it on. So
the joy that you remember having and then passing that joy back on to somebody that can also appreciate you
Yeah.
and what you found. I think that's a little bit of what drives kind of me too. Like I didn't have a lot of toys growing up, not that my wife did mostly, but finding the things that I did have for just a split second or my children had. I still have toys that my oldest boys had when they were, and I'll probably always have them until whenever. But yeah, so I can appreciate that as a seller. I think holding on to it for just that, maybe a day, maybe a week,
maybe a year.
don't judge me.
Jacking up the prices so that it sits on the shelf a little longer.
Don't let it go price. I tell people all the time on Whatnot, everything's for sale. It's just I don't know if you're gonna like the price.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's amazing. So booths first, then Whatnot. Any plans for static listing, or do you static list for those that might be listening?
Yes, I am considering, and I'm like, let me get through this month because, took a hiatus, Christmas and everything. And now Whatnot is we're gearing back up with Ray Train's different shows. But I'm like, give me a month. And I was like, first considering Macari. And now I'm kind of considering Etsy for the fact of my nostalgia items and everything else. So I'm like, so FYI, so y'all know, Bob is trying to put me on the spot because he has a calendar alert that he's like, yeah, in a month I'm harassing you. Are you listing yet? What's going on? So that's what he's doing. He's holding my feet to the fire saying, okay, when is this happening? So you're going to hear it a lot. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, part of what the point of this podcast was to do a few things. One is to motivate each other to be able to excel. First of all, if you're a hobbyist and you want to make it a hustle, this is the podcast for you. If you are, a hustler that wants to turn it into a business, same for you. If you are a pro and want to go to that next level, this one is also for you. So there's a lot of different layers, a 7-layer dip of reselling. So there's plenty to learn along the way. We have constant conversations with people that have been selling for 20 years that don't know about Whatnot that are now doing it and having a lot of success. We are talking to people who have just about given up on Etsy and reaffirm them that there is a way forward with that. So there's a lot of different things, even if you've been selling for 20 years. Just the community, the lifting each other up type of thing, motivating each other, accountability. It's important. So you may even see me live on YouTube doing listings. I thought about doing that. So I don't know if I can schedule that because I'm kind of a loose cannon when it comes to that. So everything I do in my life is like loose cannon. The only structure I have is this podcast. So even reselling, like you never know what you're going to get. I hold people hostage in my Whatnot shows because they're like, do you have this? Yes. Can I see it? I don't know where it is. Give me a second. But yes, I do have it. But anyways, so you never know what's coming next. Yeah. So
and when I can't find it, I'm like,
yes, I don't go crazy looking for it, but I do tell them that if I do find it, I'll message them and send me a message and remind me what you're looking for, etc. So, I mean, we all need a motivator. That was the point of this conversation. So I would say just, try to be kind and be a community. And I would say probably 99% of resellers are for you, believe it or not, even though we all sell toys, believe it or not. If you didn't know that and you're listening, we're going to be broadcasting this to Spotify. So hello to our Spotify viewership, our listeners. We appreciate you coming in and listening to our podcast. So, we're going to try to reach as many people as we can to try to make this thing grow and help people. I've said this before on Whatnot, and I want to just remind people that as the world grows darker, our lights need to shine brighter. There are people that are struggling to put food on the table, and people that are struggling to keep their lights on and all the things. And things like Whatnot can make a difference for that. It might be the difference between getting your groceries or maybe your medications. Maybe you're retired and struggling and trying to find a way forward without having to go back to like Walmart. Have you ever walked into a Walmart and seen someone that just is retired and they had to go back to work
Yeah.
and do the thing? If they could find a way forward with this, maybe, and do it instead and find some joy and have more flexibility and freedom and things of that nature. The freedom piece, I think, is important.
I'm a
So,
testament to that. And I'll
yeah,
say, in doing the gig work that I've done, I have seen seniors out there delivering groceries, shopping for groceries, delivering food because they need that extra income. And like you said, this is an avenue. I'm a testament to it helping pay the bills. And it can,
stay-at-home moms, homeschooling mama. Why
yeah,
would you want someone else to raise your children in daycare,
yeah,
right? And if you think that just because you have 3 or 4 kids and you can't do it, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. Tennessee Treasures does it. Mama Cat Thrifter does it. Those are just two examples of two folks with a bunch of children who do this and are very successful at it. So don't let that be an excuse. And if you do have any more excuses, leave them in the chat. I'd be happy to persuade you that they're really not that cumbersome to get around, and there's ways and strategies to do that. And that's the point of this podcast too, to give
yeah,
you some of those strategies in order to maybe static list if you can't go live. There's other things you can do. Take your pictures when the kids are sleeping. When you're at your dentist appointment with the kids, guess what? You have your bank of drafts. Post it while you're there sitting at the dentist's office. It's as simple as that. So I guess we come to the part of the podcast where I tell you my origin story, even though maybe you heard it before. But for those that are listening, I guess, first of all, I am Bob, the Rocket City Reseller. I started reselling with my wife, Amanda. We are licensed foster parents, even though our license is currently paused while we wait for our oldest son to graduate high school and move along to college. So we started reselling to offset the cost of foster care. Unfortunately, the state doesn't really pay for things that are considered extracurricular. For example, one of our foster sons wanted to do karate, and Amanda and I refinanced one of our vehicles so that he can do karate. And it wasn't the best financial decision in the world doing that, but it was also something that we were passionate about. And we were like, well, we need to do something to make a difference. So we did that. And then we found along the way Gary Vee videos. And I saw this joker online comping teddy bears in the middle of a street somewhere at a garage sale. I was like, first of all, I had no idea who Gary Vee was. I'm like, why am I getting this video? Timely. Thanks, Sherry. We appreciate that. So, so I saw that and I was just like, this guy's full of shit. There's no way this teddy bear, this used teddy bear is going to be worth anything. I was like, let me try this. So we went to the thrift store. We actually brought our foster son at the time down there, and he loved it. He loved thrifting. He loved finding stuff because, he didn't have a lot growing up either. And he was older, about 15, 16. And so we brought him, and we found a few things to list, and one of those being a Clarabelle from the old Steamboat Willie days. I listed on Mercari. We started selling on Mercari when it was good. Rip Mercari, please do something. We miss you. But anyways, we started that, and I just not even a day or 5 days that it sold for $142. I knew it was rare. I knew that it was special, that I have, when I did this research on it, and I was doing research on a lot of things at the time, and it sold for $142, froze my account. They thought I was scamming people. So I got like zapped by Mercari. I had to provide my ID. I had to provide like proof of who I was and, all the stuff. And finally they agreed that I wasn't some, scammer or whatever. So I finally ended up getting paid. But that's kind of like how we broke our teeth on reselling and why we started reselling. a lot of different decisions along the way that led to where we are now. $250,000 in 2 years of sales. A lot of growth, a lot of potential, a lot of growth still to happen. Gulf Coast Pickers, big part of that. Hey, buddy, thank you for
Wake
joining.
up, Ashley.
I'm awake. I'm listening intently. Ryan and chat trying to say I'm falling asleep.
Right.
Gulf Coast Pickers is one of the big parts of why I'm still currently on Whatnot.
Okay.
So I reached out to Ryan once and I was like, dude, I think I'm done. I think I am absolutely cooked on Whatnot. I don't think it's for me. And he sent me some videos about I think it was Jen's Multiverse was on Ray, the Nashville Flippers, This Week in Reselling, along with the Philly Flipper. And I was listening to the podcast, and the way she deals with it, or way she rationalizes the business model for Whatnot, it was a really good take on the difference between wholesaling and retailing your products. And if you can get that mindset, Whatnot could be a powerhouse of a platform to sell on. If you can find your items at an affordable price. I always say the Dollar General model is my model: buy subterranean, sell low. So that's what I took forward to Whatnot. I still struggle, and Amanda will tell you this. My wife, FionasFinds on Whatnot, she will tell you that I continue. She calls me bipolar because I always had those moments where I was just like, I know that I could get more for it. Whatever. Now I have to handle and do all the things. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know how I started. Oh, good girl. Oh, okay. Now it's making sense.
I thought you
Sorry,
called it.
for those listening, Sherry was in that chat on YouTube, and she mentioned that who she was on Whatnot. So thank you, Sherry, for coming in and listening.
We appreciate it.
You. Your viewership means a whole hell of a lot, let me tell you. She is an absolute supporter of just about all of us, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so avid collector. I would assume an avid collector. I don't know if you're a reseller, Sherry, and then I don't think we've ever asked, but yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of like a little bit of the story. There's more, obviously, that's happened over the course of I think we started selling in 2019, so we've been selling for a while. We didn't start Whatnot until this January will be 2 years for us. And like Ashley and Ellie mentioned, I can't remember. Like,
it's like it happened, and it's like this. It was this whole a lot of events that happened, but to pinpoint a date, I don't know.
So for me,
yes, Golf Coast Pickers, we did steal her from you. That's the Whatnot tradition. You steal buyers from people.
I think I've seen her last. I'm not sure, but still.
I feel like we share. Sharing is caring. We're sharing.
Sherry's just like, hey, listen, just give me what I want. I'm a collector.
Yeah.
I don't care where I get it from.
So what I was saying is, along Harry Tornado's journey, he started eBay, right? And he didn't. Let's see.
I saw his. Did you guys go back in his videos and see his podcast? By the way, he had a podcast.
Harry Tornado has a podcast?
He had one when he first started.
I don't think I did.
That's awesome. You should go back and look at it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back because I'm like, I think I've seen his first ever video when he said, you know, I was an insurance agent and I lost my job and I'm going to start this. He was so natural about it. But somewhere along the line, he started before he was actually on Whatnot himself, he started making videos about, hey, have you guys heard about Whatnot? This might be the future of reselling. Like literally, that's what I was like, Harry Tornado's talking about this. I need to get on it. And so I got in as soon as I heard about it. And
damn, wasn't he ever right? Even though in America, online reselling is only about 30% of the market worldwide, we have a lot of room to grow here. Yeah. So even if you're thinking it's too late to get started, you would be absolutely incorrect. If you went to any other country and saw some of these, like Korea is a good example, you know, Japan, online reselling, that's all there is over there, man. It is absolutely wild, some of those shows. I don't know if you guys have ever seen some of those folks over there selling. they have like these rooms where there's like 20 and 30 people all in front of like cameras and stuff, all holding their items up and like 10, like 5-second runs, like just ripping through inventory.
I think we're seeing a little bit of that evidence on TikTok and how, TikTok shop people are just selling and showing, and it's
Yeah, if
amazing.
you get in TikTok Live or eBay Live, those are the harder ones, in my opinion, to crack. But I mean, you will be successful at what you decide you want to be successful at, right?
Mhm.
So don't let anybody stop you from or telling you or being naysayers or anything like that. So like the beast that you feed is the beast that will feed you. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of that.
Gulfport said Whatnot started doing a lot of advertising, or Whatnot is doing a lot of advertising right now. I've
Really?
seen it on.
You've seen it? Because I haven't seen it at
I've
all.
seen it on TikTok. People
Okay.
are doing the TikToks, and then there's like a button that you can click at the bottom. They're like, I got all this cool stuff on TikTok, and they're advertising like I haven't seen a whole lot of the little categories or the storage categories, but I've seen a lot of like the handbag categories, the Pokemon, the cards, and that kind of stuff is what I'm seeing pushed. But it's getting people here, so
Yes.
it's the bottom line.
Speaking of advertising, now's my chance to pause for a commercial break. This podcast is sponsored by Nifty.ai. Code Rocket City will save you $15 off your first month. If you want to scale your business in 2026, Nifty.ai will give you your inventory control system. It'll give you a platform to cross list to static listings. It will also give you AI generation for creating listings. Nifty AI will also promote your closet and also send out offers for you. So try Nifty.ai, code Rocket City will give you $15 off your first month. And we appreciate you listening to my TED Talk.
Good job.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better at the promotions, the shamelessness of it all. I will make sure that Amanda knows that you were here and you send your love. We appreciate you so much, Sherry, for stopping by.
Yes, thank you everyone for being here. And Mama Cat Thrifter joined us.
Yeah, Mama Cat Thrifter. She's like so excited that it's Mondays now and not Thursdays, because on Thursdays, if you're not following Mama Cat Thrifter on Whatnot, she does vintage Tupperware shows, vintage Brady Bunch shows. She's like all over the place. She sells toys, Tupperware. She sells all kinds of stuff, and she's really great at it. Talk about an absolute powerhouse. Another mama who stays home with her children and raises them and makes a ton of money for her family recently. So if you think you can't do it, Mama Cat Thrifter.
Oh, you've been here the whole time. Okay. I was like, sorry, I didn't see you.
I was pre-advised that Courtney would be behind the scenes. She's like super excited to finally be able to listen in live instead of replaying back. She's a busy lady, she's got a lot going on. I know that she recently scored some clearance at Walmart. If you're an online arbitrage type of person, that is an avenue for reselling that you should definitely check out this time of year, especially because all the clearance that's coming through from the holidays. So, yeah. She's like, I got 3 kids in my hand. I can't type. Trying to cook dinner.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and I did not see 90. I still saw 75. It was nothing good anyway.
I think there are different Walmarts and different in Buffalo Picker. I had a chance to talk to Buffalo Picker when we were doing We Don't Give a Flip podcast, and he was mentioning that a lot of the sites that he goes to, he was talking about demographics and how that plays a big part. And Ashley worked at Walmart for many years. She can attest to this.
I can attest to all
speak to it mostly, but depending on your demographic area, depends on what Walmart will do with their inventory. Ashley, do you want to help us with that?
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, that's mine is. So I worked for Walmart for 20 years. So mine is, yes, I worked every area of that store. So I can tell you, like, yes, I've the ins and outs, how stuff gets clearanced out, how you can now granted my memory's a little rusty on like going into the clothing section and like looking at the date codes of what's about to go and all that stuff. And yeah, Mama Cat Thrifter and Chad is like, do you scan? Because they don't like to change the signs. And that's the other one is you got to think, I think, and mine now is I've been out of the company for what, over, oh gosh, what, 2 years? Going on 2 years?
You miss it?
Mine is,
I got jokes today.
I know you got jokes. Mine, I know, because we've had conversations. Mine is, I held different positions in that company.
Mm-hmm.
How I came up in that company and how I came up in that company is you worked, no matter what position you were, everybody worked the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was the type of manager that I was ride or die. If y'all are going to be out there stocking freight, I'm stocking freight with you. That mentality had slowly phased out, and I'm just supposed to be an ornament, and I'm not an ornament. I can't do that. I am a hands-on person, that sort of thing. So mine is, yes, I miss it. It was part of my life, like half, you know what I'm saying? Half of my life, I miss the associates because it truly was a family. I had so many people that were ride or die that they'll be like, hey guys, we got to go on overnights for a week. And they're like, we're going with you. And then we go on overnight for a week. Oh, no, you got to go on overnights for the rest of the month. And they were like, ride or die. I will go with you.
The difference between a leader and a boss, Ashley. That's the difference
Yeah,
between a leader and a boss.
exactly. Yeah, a leader and a boss.
Yeah.
So that was mine. So mine is I miss that aspect of it. I did a lot of teaching and training. So that was fun in my Walmart career of teaching and training all types of associates from upper management to brand new associates. So I miss that aspect and I miss the people, but all the political, I'd say political, but all the politics and all the stuff in the background, it's like, no, it's not me.
Yeah. There's a lot of that in everything that we do, especially I don't do this full time for transparency. I am a part-time. Well, I call myself a part-time, but I feel like I'm full-time. My wife is a full-time reseller. I am a software engineer, so I can definitely relate, I think, to a lot of that, like politicking at work. There's a lot of that currently where I am, and it's just not my jam. It never has been, which is why I tend to career shift a lot regarding work. I'm a contractor anyways, so I'm like a mercenary. I work for the highest bidder because with software engineering, you can imagine contracts are come and go. So I've always been that type of person and always looking for the other angle. So yeah, I get the whole politicking thing. It can be very like, I get that there's a need for it, I think maybe, but does it have to be so like icky?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I understand that there's tiers of understanding and tiers of like, hey, you are the employee, I'm the boss, whatever. But there are people that can transcend that and do it well. And I wish that more people can be that person. You know, be that leader instead of being that boss, etc.
Word.
Yeah, it's really too bad that. But let's get back to clearance. What are some secret? I want to talk about like clearance items because I'm a terrible person. I love your resale.
You were saying something about
date codes and stuff like that. Mine is I'd have to go back and like really look into it. But mine is like, you know, after Christmas, all that stuff is going to go, I'm thinking seasonal wise. So right now, and I mean that was different things with having the knowledge base of all the areas of the store. I'll be 100% transparent, like grocery I got better at, but like fresh and that sort of area, I was like, do not put me in the bakery. I'm not baking anything. I'm not going to be cooking in the deli. Like, please keep me out of the fresh areas. But GM side, GM side was my heart and soul. So when I talk about GM side, it's apparel, it's the other half of the store, all your general merchandise. So a lot of that, and y'all are going to make me go back and try to figure this out in my head. But I mean, everything has season.
People want to know, Ashley.
I know they want to know, but it's like, hold on, I have to like really think about that.
He's like, listen, Bob, let me take an action item. This is what they do at my job. I'll take an action item. I'll get back to you.
There you go. I mean, that sounds good. But mine, just like everywhere, you have your seasons. So it's like I always joked, and I think we've talked about it before. There's no such thing as Halloween. There's no such thing as Thanksgiving, and there's no such thing as Christmas. It's hollow giving miss because you start out with because I mean retail, you put Halloween out, you got a little bit of harvest out, and then you slowly as it starts selling down, you got to look to the next thing. And I mean, we could go all day about having to switch out the seasonal box. The
best part of the holidays is the seasonal candy. Everybody knows that.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But mine is all the different seasonal times, but a lot of the clearance issues, it's just you have a lot of associates that once again, just like every job, you have associates that don't have that accountability factor. Nobody's checking up behind them. So you have people doing price changes and just accepting and not looking for it and pricing it because basically it's, as I said, the somewhat politicking of it. Hurry up. We got to have the price changes out. It's all about, demand. Oh, we have late price changes. They have to get out of the screen. It's coming from so-and-so that it has to be done today. So people are not doing it the proper way and just accepting it. So a lot of the times, you're going to find hidden clearance because one, they didn't put it all together. They never marked it. They never even showed the value to the customer. And I think that's with anywhere. So, I mean, there's times like I remember cleaning up stuff and I was like inventory time is the craziest time because you will find stuff from like 2 Christmases ago and it's a penny and you're finding it on the floor and it costs a penny because it just gotten hidden behind stuff. So I think the biggest one, the one takeaway that I can tell y'all is like the big seasonal box up front. I would say every area has their set season. So like, I think now more than likely, yes, clearance should be slowly happening in toys. So all your toys are going to start going on clearance. Mama Cat already probably done claimed a lot of them. But they'll do that. They'll have a markdown. It'll have another markdown. Like I said, I've been out of the game for a hot minute, but the rule of thumb is they'll let it sit in the area. It goes, I don't remember the percentage at first. Then it'll get another markdown, and then you'll see a final markdown. It'll tell you, and then each store, depending, has their own clearance aisle where you can put certain items. So as they're resetting those new item modulars that are coming in, they're going to shift it to the clearance aisle. But what I would suggest for everyone, especially us toy sellers, just go through toys and scan because it's going to be a hot mess. It's after Christmas. I can tell you from the years of working in toys during Christmas, you send a team over there to try and zone it. It gets so jacked up. There's stuff behind stuff, and it's probably still that way in most of the stores. And it gets shopped hard. So it's just, you got to go and scan that Walmart app. I'm telling y'all, if you got it with the scanner, check it.
So I was just at Walmart 2 days ago, and I got We Know Durables movie moments, the little boxes. I got 2 of those for $1 each. I got
$1.
$1. Couldn't believe they were a little peeled open, but they were intact. $1. I could not believe it. I got a couple of Durables boxes for $2, a couple of the mini itty bitty Funko Pops, but they're like the bigger little box sets. Of like 4 for $2 each. Those things are usually like $15 or $18 or something like that. So I already hit up.
What's the move? Is the move to hold that stuff until next season because everybody's finding this clearance now? Or is the move to list it and try to get what you can for it now instead of trying to get more later? What do you think?
For me, I'm looking to sell it at what it would retail at. Especially these little toys, they're so collectible. Some of the bigger toys I might have to sit on. Like I've done clearance before. I have PJ Masks from 2 years ago that never sold because PJ Masks fell out after I bought them on clearance. Paw Patrol, I still had a couple that didn't end up selling. They sold a couple in this last year, but they sold like a year after they hit the clearance. The thing with the little toys like the itty bitty pops, the Durables, all those little things, they're gonna go fast. So I think I can still get what they retail for since they're, I think you called them like a lottery toy one time. I liked that reference.
Yeah, it's almost like a kid lottery.
Yeah.
It's like a scratcher.
Right. So it's a new You didn't have to buy it and guess what you were going to get. Here it is. I have it. It's brand new. $10, $15, whatever it retails for, since I got it for clearance prices. So that's my goal with those things. And that's why I really like the mini toys. They just sell.
Well, and they don't take up as much room, right? The mini toys,
Also,
which you get
yeah.
a bigger profit or the same profit as like a big plush that would be $15 or whatever. So
Yeah.
you can get more in your space if you're limited on spaces. That's not a bad idea if you're don't have as much storage as we're lucky enough to have.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you, like our house is still overflowing even though we have all the storage. So yeah, it's been fire the sourcing lately, and Tennessee Treasures knows we tend to source with her. And Ashley, you're be on the lookout for me. I might just show up at your door.
Oh,
You're so close in Georgia.
I'm like, I'll show you the. I mean,
I'll be like, Mom, let's go.
she'll be like, game. I mean, I'm telling you, this past Thursday, I told you, I haven't been able to hit the one local one in 2 weeks. They've been closed. They revamped. They took all the old stuff off. They had new stuff in. You saw my cart, $100, and we're talking $100 of product. Now, with that being said, their prices are 50 cents, $1, $2, $3, $4. I mean, they're tagged.
Eyes up draining, so low.
Yeah, and then some specialty items they'll put a price on, and furniture and stuff. But yeah, most of their stuff is under $5. So yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know what sourcing's been like in Georgia for you, but have you've been sourcing through Whatnot too, right? So that is an avenue for folks that might be struggling in their area. So if you're listening and sourcing has been an issue for you in your area, consider Whatnot. And Ashley can attest to the fact that she also, and we used to do it. We don't do it as much anymore. Source on Whatnot and find a great deal. So do you want to talk
Yeah.
about that, Ashley, just a bit?
For me, I'm picky. I've gotten where I'm super picky. In the beginning, I was like, holy crud, you're only selling that for $1? What are you thinking? But then you have to factor in the shipping. And mine is the one worst thing coming from the other side. You want your buyers to have that reduced shipping. But once you unlock free shipping, it's game on. It's like, what else do you have? So that's kind of my mentality, is that if I'm looking for something, it's like, I need to see more than one item in your shop that I'm willing to pick up. I will bookmark your items. I will wait until you have, but I've gotten a lot more picky because with the shipping, and it's like I was haphazardly in the beginning, like, oh, they have that. I would buy one item and pay that max shipping on it. And it's like, you really didn't get it for a deal because you got to factor in that shipping and taxes on top of it. So not as often, I would say. I'm very particular with what I pick up. And yes, some stuff goes to my personal collection that I'm like, yeah, I want to hold on to that.
I tell you what, this has taught me to be a collector, which is not a good thing for me.
Heard.
Well, because of space, you guys see all this stuff behind there. Most of this is my wife's, but some of it is actually my collection. I love Hanna-Barbera, Looney Tunes, and things of that nature. So I collect that type of stuff. But I guess Whatnot, the point of bringing it up was to let people know that if you're struggling, you need sourcing, you can 3 or 4 times your money, even with shipping. Especially if you find someone that has reduced shipping, then there's plenty of sellers out there that do it. I am one of them. So I try to do at least one show a month where I do a reseller restock, where I will discount items to be able to allow someone that is a reseller to come in 3 or 4 times their money and be able to cap shipping and get as much as they can. That way they can take that and flip it on other platforms like eBay, etc. So
yeah,
there are folks like me out there that'll pass along some of because we have so much. My cup literally overflows. So if I can be a blessing to someone in that way, we're going to do that, right? We're going to try to help you out this year. So make sure like I said, what I'm trying to say is make sure you're checking us out on Whatnot, because you're going to be able to get those deals. And you can find other deals. You don't have to do that with us. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Mama Cat Thrifter is saying, I got to call behind the scenes. Sorry, but Paw Patrol is slow except for the cat pack. I'm not sure what that means, but the cat pack.
The
I
cat
guess
pack are,
there's certain cats within the series,
yeah,
not the dogs, but the actual cats. I think is what she means by that.
yeah, I believe
I
so.
think
Yeah,
We sold one for $75 this weekend.
score.
Hell yeah!
We're-
She bought it at Target 2 years ago on clearance. So there you go, retail arbitrage. She held on to it, and she sold it this year
Yep.
for 75.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to piggyback off of what you said. With yes, like I said, you got to be careful. Like, look at your money as what you're spending. But if you're getting that deal, yeah, utilize Whatnot for resellers. I think we all know amongst ourselves. I know us, we do, and I think everybody else. There's stuff that we buy off of other Whatnot sellers, and we're going to turn around and sell it. And my whole thing is I'm cool with it. I think everyone is kind of cool with it. We got what we wanted out of it. Go do what you will with it. One of the
Apex
things,
Jeff will come into your show and tell you that he's 4 times his money, and you're like, "Gee, thanks, Jeff, for telling me." I want to know.
yeah,
Just kidding.
you
We love
should,
Jeff.
what? Yeah, and that's mine. And the one thing that we, myself and Racing Through Time 2021, I don't know if everyone's familiar with Mayhem Mel, but she is an amazing seller on
She used to
Whatnot.
be a buyer of ours when we first started.
Yeah, she has a sell one thing Ray train that she does every Tuesday night. Racing and I were like, man, we'd love to do one just toys. So we got with Mayhem Mel, and baby girl Steph does help her too as well on that. And we were like, hey, we really want to do one that's kind of toy centered. So and they're like, yeah, sounds cool. Why don't you do it? So we have one and done that we do every Sunday, and it's become no, it's become kind of, they have a mixed, like either one item or it's a mixed box of items. I always point out that, like, if you're a reseller or a collector, and a lot of times people get great deals on that Ray train. I think I sold a box of random toys. I don't remember. I had Little People new in box, Adorable new in box set for $11. I mean, you can't beat that with all the other toys either.
Yeah.
So Tiny Toys had a question regarding whether or not anybody here sells on Amazon or Whatnot, or sorry, Amazon or Walmart.
No.
I don't personally, and I'm not sure. Do you guys at all? No. So my plan is to try to find sellers that do, because that is an important part of. So we're going to have guests on the podcast. It won't always be just the 3 of us, although that we're not probably going to have a lot of guests, but we're going to try to be selective in regards to who we have on that could give the most value added. So we will have those types of resellers on that have done that retail arbitrage, send it into Walmart. I guess Walmart's easier to crack than Amazon, from what I understand.
I have no clue. I just know from the retail side of it, having the Walmart.com app and a customer saying, well, they have it for this price, or you're seeing where you have that third party that is selling it for something outrageous, but then it's associated with Walmart. And I'm like, that was my whole thing, is like, our price is cheaper in store versus that third party. Why would you do that? Yeah. And I felt like that was a disservice to customers on that, on some of the third party. But then there's some items that you can't get.
And there it is, right? There's the rub.
It's that double-edged sword. So
they bought it from Walmart on retail arbitrage. This is going to blow your mind. And then they sell it on Walmart back. So Walmart was like, I'm not going to sell this anymore. We're out of it. And then all of a sudden it's back in the mix again. And it's a third party. And it's just wild to think about that type of thing.
I don't know if you remember the first year at the Nashville reseller meetup, or if you met him, TJ Lovelady, I think that's retail arbitrage. And he was at the bins with us, and he's not a bins digger, but he was fascinated at, the bins. But I think he might be a good subject to pick his brain.
Ellie's going to run him down and see if she can get him on. That'd be an awesome podcast. I think I've talking to Tommy the Buffalo Picker before. He is does both Amazon and Walmart.
Nice.
He's a wealth of information. Retired twice over, government and also military, and he's a steadfast dude. He knows a lot of information, and I'm sure if we were to reach out again, he would love to be on the show as well. But yeah, that's an important part of reselling because those are two big platforms that are really going to take over. I think Harry Tornado, I believe, no, Commonwealth Picker recently did a video about Walmart.com potentially taking over like Amazon currently does in regards to delivery. And I could see that already happening because now we have Walmart delivery in our area and we're very rural. So I have a feeling that that's going to continue to grow and it's going to become a battle between the two.
Yeah.
So that might be an option as the USPS gets more and more defunded and prices keep on skyrocketing. You're going to see privatization of the federal postal system and or Amazon or Walmart taking over delivery regarding mail. Think about that for a second.
Well, I mean, and mine is coming from the aspect of the side of coming from that company and knowing like the next steps, like what they're planning on doing. Yeah, the biggest competition that Walmart had is Amazon. And then you got to think how many Walmart, like in my area, you go, what is it? We go 15 minutes, we have a neighborhood market. 15 minutes, we have a neighborhood market. You go the other direction, maybe 20 minutes, there's another neighborhood market. You have a super center within 15 minutes of it. We have, I mean, within just my little scope, there's at least like 15 Walmarts within
They
an
have the
hour.
infrastructure. Yep, they have the infrastructure. They have the trucking. They have the employee base. They have the delivery now. It's all the delivery of some of it is subsidized through contractors, but they do have the framework in place to make this thing work. So I wouldn't be surprised if Commonwealth Picker is absolutely correct that that is what's coming next is someone's going to get the contract from the government to privatize the post office to try to mitigate some of the costs because the costs keep going up. Obviously, they just dropped another price increase, I think, here recently, which is continually squeezing the customer base because that's passing that on to the customer, right? We have to pass those costs on for that, and that's uncomfortable and it makes it harder to sell things. So ways to mitigate that is to pass your discount for eBay. I pass our discount that we get from eBay we don't pay retail prices for shipping. We get a discount as sellers on eBay. I pass that on to the customer to try to incentivize them to buy from us.
Yeah.
That $1 or $1.50 that I'm making extra on shipping is not worth to me the loss of a customer, which is probably why we get a lot of return buyers on eBay because they realize somewhere along the way that we're not trying to like, I don't want to say price gouge because I don't want to shame anybody for making a couple extra bucks by not doing that because there's no wrong answer for that. It's just something that I've noticed that we've done that's been very successful and why we sell a lot of items. So something to consider.
Well, I mean, that's mine is like my mentality now that we're like kind of bringing it up is like online grocery started. Then, I mean, I just know of some of the programs. I mean, not all of them, I don't think are in every state, but there's actual Walmarts that they will come deliver it and put it in your fridge. Like that they had started testing that.
Will they cook dinner for you?
Did they
I'm just saying
it? Or it was in beta or something.
Yeah, it was in beta. It was in beta because I know they were doing it in New York of all places. And they were not in New York. It was I can't remember.
I can see like Manhattan being like a test market for that because there's all those like young professionals and those professional people that are just like going out for martinis or whatever. I could totally see someone like that wanting that kind of boutique type service, like that white glove service where there's like, I'm going to put away your groceries for you too.
Yeah, and seniors or like new moms and stuff that
oh
can
yeah,
be
that
like,
too, yeah.
Oh yeah, because I mean that's who online grocery is for. That's what it was for. You got to think about all
for
those
people that don't really necessarily care to be around other people. There's that too.
Yeah.
You can put your
Yeah.
own groceries away.
I
Being
know.
an
I
'Cause
like online delivery and delivery of Walmart for me personally because I tend to spend less by doing that. If I'm in the
Yes,
store, I'll spend more.
true.
So it's like a cost thing for me. If we do Walmart delivery, because you're not tempted by all the other noise.
everything else, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Or
Yeah.
going down the clearance aisle or the toy aisle.
well, yeah. I mean, it's hard when you're a reseller. You always you have FOMO, right? It's like,
Yeah.
you know what's down
And
there, and
see,
then
I'm the
next thing you
opposite.
know,
I don't wanna I don't wanna go into, I mean, understand I was with that company for 20 years. I do go into Walmarts, but when I tell you that literally I did teaching and training, so if I walk in any of these stores, I know at least one, like when I knew somebody.
hmm,
You'd get stopped like 5, 6 times. So that's where like now it's kind of like a PTSD to some extent, but it's like
yeah.
I
I
feel
mean,
like I might get stopped in there that it's like, ugh. So there's certain like I
yeah,
avoid some of those places because it's like,
Not an issue that
no,
I
I
can
miss
solve.
y'all. No, I don't want to get into it, that sort of thing. But yeah.
I worked two full-time jobs, and also one of those was Target retail for many years while I was going to school to become an engineer. So I did that full time too. So think about what that was like. Get really close to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Let me just tell you, put your faith in Him, and you can do all things. But yeah, that's you know, it was a lot for me to go back to Target after all those shifts and all those years doing that. Um, and I totally get the whole PTSD thing, walking into a store and just having those memories of just standing and then walking. How many actual steps did you put in every night? Like 16,000 steps?
Oh, it was big. I walked that whole store. That's mine is from the
Hmm.
back to the front to grocery to GM. I was constantly, and that's mine. It was, yeah, constant.
Yeah.
Like my steps, like I remember
My
like
legs would get tired just walking in the door.
Man,
and mine
I was
is,
like,
everybody I work with laughed at me. I'm short in stature, right? And you'd have these 6 foot tall guys that you're walking with, and I'm walking right alongside them because
Yeah.
they're one step, I'm walking two, and I'm walking like fast. And they're like,
Yeah.
dang, slow down. And I'm like, we got crap to do. Let's go.
If you really want to see someone get wheels, bring Amanda into a thrift store. She's literally the slowest human in the world until you get that girl in a store. You put her in the store, man. She is off and running. I call her nickname is Turbo. She gets in those stores, she's gone. She's gone.
we
Yeah,
missed a question. I don't know if you saw
really.
it. Uh,
Let's see. Let's go back.
I didn't want to interrupt, but
Yeah,
Tiny
go,
Toy,
go. Tiny Toys had a question.
yeah, she
You,
said, "Do you guys have EIN and business licenses?"
No.
so in the state of Alabama, you don't need a business license to do what we do. It's considered a sole proprietorship. So check your local state and guidelines for that. I would say EIN number is not a bad thing to have because why pay taxes twice on something? You're going to buy it. The problem with EIN numbers is a lot of the thrift stores, it's a pain in the ass checking out with that. So I don't know if it's the juice is worth the squeeze personally for me. I can see where that would be important if you're doing a lot of retail arbitrage. So that's my really quick answer regarding that. I don't know a lot of other benefits other than not having to pay taxes twice because you're not the intended recipient of the item. Your intention is to sell it. That's the point of the EIN, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's not a bad question. I don't personally do it for those reasons, but if you do it, it also is a money saver.
So I do have the business license and the EIN number. It's required here in Tennessee and in my county that I have the city and the county license. It's $15 a year after you make $3,000, and then I think it goes up after you make 100,000.
There you go.
So I have to have it, and then the EIN number I have, but I don't have the um, tax exempt.
Oh,
I
is there? Are
haven't.
they different? I thought they were the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know if you need the EIN number to get the tax exempt. You might, but I haven't taken that next step to get the tax exempt
I would
thing.
assume that your municipality, someone within that tax office for the Department of Revenue for your state would probably be a good resource to reach out to regarding that.
Yeah.
So,
And it took me a while to take those first steps. So, sometimes I drag. I will say, though, I've heard some
the
people.
simplest things sometimes could be like a thorn in your side. So,
some states, and I can't remember which state I saw, require specific licenses to be auctioneers, even on Whatnot. Have you guys seen that?
I've never heard that.
I've heard
Mine
that.
is, I've heard it, and it's one of those that it's kind of like, I would say a few months back, there was stuff mentioned about it. So I know that there are some states that it's like you have to have auctioneer's license, and it's certain ways that you had to run it. I don't want to speak on it.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to speak on it because I'm not 100% sure. I am not one of those states, but I know that there are some states, and that's where it's something that I don't remember what states, but I know that there was talk of it.
Chris said here you have to make a certain amount. There are certain states. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it just goes to say, check your local.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point about the whole business part of what goes on behind the scenes. That's a great question, Tony. Thank you for asking that. And maybe we will have better answers as we learn and grow together, which is another point of this podcast is we don't know everything. We're not know-it-alls. We know a lot of things, but we're not know-it-alls. So we're always learning as well. So we learn from you guys as well. So keep the questions coming. We really appreciate that. Also serves to, jog things loose for other people that are watching that may have not considered those questions. Or don't know the answers, and now they're going to go find the answers because you brought up the question. So there's never a wrong answer or a wrong question. It gets the mind moving and thinking about all things reselling and the business aspect of that. And that's the point this year, right? To take this side hustle to the next level.
Yep.
Let's go. So we've had a lot of success this year, and we want to make sure that we pass that knowledge and information on to all of our friends and our new friends that might be joining us. If you're watching this posthumously and you want to find out more about our reselling journey, you can reach us personally at Rocket City Reseller on Facebook. We have that group. We also have the Resellers Refuge, which is a private group where you can ask questions without condemnation, without any judgment, without any like, hey, did you do your research? We don't do any of that. We help where we can. Also, Rocket City Reseller on YouTube, obviously, and then Rocket City Reseller HSV on Instagram. Those are my socials, and I'll pause there so Ellie can run through hers.
Oh man, there's a bunch of them. All right, I hold on. See if I can share this. I was ready. Here's
ready. Let me make this big. Hang on, we got this.
There it is.
You can't really see because of the connection. No, it's pixelated. Sorry.
Okay, well, let me read them off. Tennessee Treasures, Tennessee_Treasures on Whatnot, Tennessee Toy Treasures on Facebook. Then I'm also on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. They're all the same, Tennessee Treasures.
So there you go. And I'll make sure that we put some of this stuff inside the description of this video after the fact when we wrap up for the day. And Shisha244, where can we find you? I know
on Whatnot. I don't have anything, guys. I'm a work in progress.
That's my goal this year. That's my goal this year. My goal this year is to get Ashley on social media. Let's go. Everybody needs more Ashley in their life.
They're like, we're done with her. We're done with her.
No, we've only just begun. It's like a Karen Carpenter song. We've only just begun. Ashley needs to give herself a little bit more credit. She's an absolute powerhouse on Whatnot, and she can also be that on if she chooses social media, and if she doesn't, that's okay too. We're all friends here, and we want to grow together. That's the point of this podcast. So, any final words for the people? What are you looking forward to this year? We'll go around the horn. It's a new year. Happy New Year, everybody who's listening. And we'll go with Tennessee Treasures first. What are you looking forward to most this year?
I'm looking forward to continuing to grow together. I'm looking forward to this content creating journey and just working with you guys and being able to share a little bit of my side of the story and how reselling can really just change your life in the aspect of it has allowed me to be a stay-at-home mom. It has allowed me to homeschool because I have those extra funds to be home with the kids. It's definitely changed my life for the better. And I am by no means a big time seller. $28,000 was not a big number, and I didn't do that much this year. So, and it's still making a difference, you know?
Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah.
that's my goal. I want to share and I want to grow together.
Nice. Very well said. Well, we are appreciative of you joining us along the way, and we're looking forward to more insights in regards to being a full-time mom and wife and teacher of young minds is very important, not only to just us here as a community, but I think to our country in general. That's a testament to the character that you have. So we appreciate that. Ashley, she shed 244 on whatnot. Raid Queen extraordinaire. What are you looking forward to most this
So
year?
one, I know that I'm not going to get away with it, but I need to be static selling. So I know that's something that I'm working towards. I think for me is, which is one question I wanted to ask y'all, but I kind of got it. But like when I joined whatnot, I part of the reason I joined was the community. I was like, these people are awesome. It was such a great community, and it still is. And for me, I want to help grow that community. I think I strive to do that. That I want to be like, hey, come on, let's, you just started, you're at this, let's get you to those sales, let's get you that following. Let's, to help people. That's my biggest one is I don't want to keep, I think Amanda has said it, FionasFinds has said it several times. We're not gatekeepers. I'm not, hey, this is me. I'm not sharing any of this information. I don't want to be that. I want us all to grow together. So that's something I want to take is like helping grow more sellers, as well as grow myself because I'm not a big seller either. I'm like, I see a lot of new sellers that have just started that they've reached 1K. And I was like, holy crud. I think it took me over a year to get to 1K sales. And I
Same.
was like, man. So I'm like, this, I mean,
We
the
all
new
can't be a
people,
few of those finds who did it in 6 months. I mean, come on, let's
well,
go.
yeah, true. But, and that's what I want. I want to help grow people because I'm like, once you hit that 1K, it's like, yeah, you get paid. You don't have to wait. You still got to wait for the money to hit, but you know what I'm saying? It's a lot quicker than I got to wait
Yeah.
till it gets sent there and they approve, that sort of thing. Yeah.
So growing to the community for whatnot is what I'm most excited about too, Ashley. We both touched on the same thing. That's just one of the things I'm most excited about. I'm excited about a lot of things, which doesn't help my ADHD probably. But as I sit here and spin my fidget spinner. So basically, I'm the same way. We want to grow whatnot. I think it is here. Tornado is absolutely correct. It is the future of reselling. And it still has a lot of room to grow. So we want to make sure that we increase our community presence there. We want to make sure we are helping and assisting. I can't tell you how many whatnot reseller groups there are out there on Facebook, and people are actually starved for information. They are not getting help. They are not getting served in these groups. We want to like grab these folks and bring them into the fold so that we can grow their business and they can be successful, because there's no reason why they should be being starved for information and being starved for the way forward regarding reselling in general. So let's go out into the community and let people know that we are untapped resource for them to be able to do the sub, grow their business. We'll do that along with our friends along the way. And yeah, looking forward to doing that in 2026. We can't wait to grow not only our business, but yours. Welcome to Launchpad, where we are going to accelerate and lift off and be successful in reselling. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and appreciate you guys. You guys can hang out for a second. We're going to go ahead and end this right now, and we'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you next Monday, same time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. Appreciate you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Love you.